Trading and investing of any kind carries risk. Everything discussed here is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken as financial advice because, you guessed it, I don't give advice. Be sure to like and subscribe and set that notification bell and share it and tell people and stuff. And keep in mind that while the like doesn't mean anything to you, it means a lot to me because it gets videos out and stuff. So let us look at the stock market because we like the stock market, don't we? So I think the last time we were here, we talked about this head and shoulders possibly forming. And wouldn't you know it, it did. I think that's what we talked about. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember. I don't remember yesterday. I don't remember 10 minutes ago. So there we are. So we got this, and if not, then we'll just talk about it now. So we had this shark here that worked out. All right, let's just draw him out here. Let's just draw him out here. Let's just draw out a little shark. Look at that. Just a little sharky shark. Look at that. Isn't that just pretty? Right, had a shark work out right there. I think that pushed too much to be a part of this shark, but I think there was another one that worked out here. Maybe not. Nope, not really. So yeah, shark there. And then if we do a bigger retrace, let's see why. Maybe we popped up there. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a little pattern here that worked out. Let's check it and see. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking through this, so you're going to go through it with me. And if you don't want to do that, then I am sorry, sort of. Let's see. Interesting. We just pulled back to a trend line and then pushed. I'm sure if we dug deeper, there's a pattern there somewhere. And if not, then, you know, yay, stock market. But I'll go back and look at that and maybe bring it up next time. So, funny enough, had the shark that worked out. This thing pushed, got up here. I feel like we talked about this head and shoulders. And then the head and shoulders worked out, right? We got, I mean, pretty much a double bottom. And then in that double bottom, what did we get? We got two more sharks. So now one of them has worked out. The other one has not quite worked out yet. And so what do I mean? So let's zoom. Well, actually, no, let's not zoom. Let's talk about these first because these are smaller patterns versus the larger pattern stuff we'd been looking at. So first of all, there is this shark right here. Right. And so we got roughly to the 886 up here, a little more than the 886. And then, you know, we started having this pullback. But this particular shark is not an 886 shark. It's closer to it's a 113 shark. So it should have pushed beyond. It basically should have tried to double top at very least. And that's what we got. So we did get that, which is nice. So we haven't pushed to the 113, and that's okay. But if we're going to complete this shark up here, what we have to get is this is an 886 shark, give or take. And so this shark should be right up in here somewhere, right around 4190-ish. So for this one to complete, it needs to hit 4190. Now, we could technically say that there's also another not little, but just a little bit further down, there's a shark here. And because of the intricacies of how these patterns play out, this particular shark was an 886 and could have actually completed right around here somewhere. So yeah, there's three patterns right there. Worked out. So then what we got after the first one kind of did its thing and completed, got a... we'll just call it all the way to here, the whole pattern. And what do you know? Look at that right there. Would you look at that? So let's look. How far did we get down here? Did we get to the 61.8? We did not. Let's do another little quick measurement just for grins. Oh no, we got up here first, which is why. Oh, beautiful. Perfect. And that is why that's a 5-0 shark. That's why we didn't pull back to the 61.8. So that worked out as it should have. It worked out beautifully. All of that worked out well. So now what we're looking for is what's next. So we've had pullbacks. So we can actually try to finish this shark, which I really would like to see that. I would really like to see that before we have any more downside, because we had this 5-0, we had it push. Now, right now, we are, coming back up here to kind of test. So some people like to measure this at the 886 for these 5-0s and the 113 of the pattern. So 886 of the pattern and then 113 of the pattern, right? But I don't measure them that way. I measure them to the original 886 and 113 of the pattern, which is right here, as it should, like this. So it hit this 886, slowed down and stopped, right? So the next target for this 5-0, if we're going to keep pushing, the next target for this is going to be right up here, the 113. We'll need to get through this, kind of topping area here and kind of pop up to this 113. If we happen to do that, it's not much further, 10 more handles for us to get up to 4190 on the ES here, right? So be very nice to see. It would be fantastic. So something else that we have been paying attention to, we've been looking at and watching is, today, as we pulled back, we had some dark pool prints come in, kind of slowed us down and nudged us back up. Then yesterday and sometime today, the dark pool prints kind of slowed that move back up. The move back up kind of slowed us down. I'm kind of looking off to a screen over here because I've got them over here. But yeah, I mean, these things have really been controlling us. So as we've been trying to make a move, we've got these prints that are coming in. And as they come in, it slows these moves down or kind of swats us back down, or it kind of gives us a boost to kind of go up. So they've been pretty spot on with the areas that we've been kind of pulling and pushing to and from. So longer term, so if we were to go zoom out a bit, let's do that. Let's start just delete, 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 delete. Done, done, done. Zoom out. Let's go back and look at this larger shark on a much larger time frame. Also, head and shoulders, right? So what did we have here? We had this, and we never got the 5-0. We never got our 5-0 pullback. So the pattern kind of completed here, right? So let's make sure that was an 886er. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, 886 pattern. We got the 886 shark. We had some pullbacks, but we've yet to be able to really get beyond that 236. So we've yet to really even get to the 38.2 of this move. Now, if we were to take this all the way up here, we got 38.2 today. So we could call it that, and we could actually say that, maybe we start getting this 5-0 retrace now. Maybe we'll push that 4190, complete this little shark here, give us a bit of a, double topping in here, maybe try to come back and get that 5-0 pattern. I think the nervousness around pulling down to that 5-0 is it's a deep pattern, the one that we're going to pull down to. And we're talking like, 39.80 or even below, if I'm being honest. I mean, it could actually be a lot lower. So the problem with that is we're talking, let's zoom out to 4 hours. Yeah, I think it was somewhere down here, 39, 39.60, 39.50, something like that. Can't exactly remember where we ended up. But, and I think that's the nervousness here. And we have a decent, I'm going to kind of say decent, but we've got this move up to 41.90, which would be nice. And if we were to try to play this as a pattern, let's see here. That's on the 4 hours. So yeah, if we're going to play that, it's going to probably end up being this, which is, it's a pretty gnarly pattern. That takes us even lower. So if this actually pulls down to a 5-0, does its thing and pushes back, you know, that's what it is. But we've got the possibility here for this thing to start playing out. We've kind of pushed beyond the 886, which is what I don't like about it for that particular pattern. We just got a double top here, which kind of tells me we are either trying to do some bull trapping here, or we're going to push this thing up and try to make a shark out of it, which can't make a shark out of it because we pulled back too far down here. Sorry, thinking out loud here. It's just how I do it. Okay, so if this happens to work itself out in the spirit of a pattern, you know, there's a potential this thing goes right around here-ish, which is 35.30. That's really low. I mean, not saying it can't happen. All it takes is a few more banks to take a poop, doesn't it? In it. So anyway. Yeah, very nice. Well, let's zoom into today. Kind of look at what we have today, maybe the last couple days, and see what we got going on here. Yeah, and don't forget to like the video, right? Don't forget to like the video. Let's see here. Let's see here. So that's the last few days. So let's take a look at how to play these things. If I haven't already gone through this, if I have, then it'll just be a repeat, right? So you start to see this set up if you understand these patterns, right? So you start to see this set up, and you will see in my real life, I typically don't draw these things. I don't really care. I know what a W looks like. I don't need these things to tell me what a W looks like. So typically what I'll do is I know the retracement levels, and so I just want to see the retrace, right? I just want to give myself a measurement, you know, see that goes up to roughly 50%. We pull back, right? Because I know that that's at least a 113, which is what we need for this pattern. And then I start looking, right? We get up near this 786 and we respect it. So, and when we do that, because, you know, this is where these patterns can fail, right? 786 pushes up. Where do you enter this? Well, you have to keep in mind, because this is the ES and you actually have a lot of after hours going on. Actually, let's do this. Let's jump over to SPY. Make this a little bit, I'm going to air quote, say easier. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Do it here because it might look a little better. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. It's not too bad. It's a big pattern though. So, but what you will see is, you know, you'll kind of see these midpoints set up. And these are kind of the areas you want to start looking for. So for this particular bigger pattern, yeah, see, that just doesn't look as pretty. I don't like that as much, honestly, but that's just me. Some people do. You know, we get that retrace here, we get those wicks. We're not going to count those wicks, so I think that's just late prints and stuff coming in. Got that 127 pullback. Yeah, I mean, honestly, your entry, you know, it's the same as a standard W a lot of times. We could even move it out to here because that looks a lot better. I don't like these wicks. They're pretty stupid, just from maybe prints and stuff. So here we go. There's our entry for this bigger pattern. I mean, it seems easy enough, right? But, you know, we can even play these smaller patterns down here. See that? Break it, push. Even have another W setting up here, which maybe we looked at this one previously in one of the last videos I did. But if we did, just a bit of a review, right? Where do you enter that? Right in here. maybe even as low as here. You see how that stuff, see how it gets respected? That's what I love about trend lines. I'm never too grown up for trend lines, I'm going to tell you. I love them. I love them. I love them. Okay. And then now we did have 2 days of just, kind of garbage. So what we had here, we had this push, and then we had this flag that kind of set up, right? And then we pushed out of it, completed that pattern. And we had this pretty atrocious day. Not a ton going on, but we did get this very slow pattern that's set up here. Right, so broke, couldn't really hold. We tried to, but we couldn't hold. Pulled back down. We finally broke here, and then we held. So there's your entry on that pattern. You're going to get less than a dollar out of that on the SPY. And it's really gnarly pull. I'm assuming there was news there. I do recall hearing some news. But I mean, this is the SPY, right? So this is part of the reason that I went over to trading futures. I used to only trade the SPY and use a lot of Sizen, but I don't do that anymore now. I just trade futures. I still trade other tickers. We've got Sean in the room that's really helping us with those. So, and then we had this day as well. And it was, fairly atrocious. And if you're not an experienced trader, trading days like this, don't. Just don't. They're crap. They're garbage. Unless you see something bigger at play. But look at this, just up and down all day. You'd have just been sitting in it at the risk of a pull or a push. And look at that, it pulled and it pushed. So then we have today, which was CPI day. And how do you play this? Well, same as anything else. This is where patience is a virtue. Look at this. Get the push. Play it back up. Could have played the pull. Where would you have played the pull? Right there. Oh, that's a pattern there. Could have played that around the open, right? Made that M. Could have played that. Let's see if that got us down to 1618. No, not quite. But yeah, that one kind of did there. Yeah, so we got it down here, kind of pushed back. Yeah, so there's your plays there. There's a bigger M here. You got this smaller M up top here. You got this bigger M here. I'll draw them real quick so you can see. Something like this, give or take. Got something here. And so this pattern actually ended up completing later. And then we have this pattern here, this bigger one. The measurements, that's 1272. Yeah, roughly. That should be what that is, right? Let's see. It should be a butterfly. Yeah, 272. Ooh, we got a nice pull out of that. Tried to come down and retest that low. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So there's two plays to the downside, and then you got these, you got this W that's set up. And if you notice, we tried to set up here, tried to get us a little pattern here. We just couldn't stay up, right? So if we drew this trend line, we just bounced into it, couldn't get above it. And then finally we found a low spot, got into it, pushed, we broke, and we held. Right? That's is why if you're patient, take these plays, there you go. What's that, 2 points on SPY? I mean, just lovely. So, but this is why when you become patient and you start really understanding where to take these plays, understand candlesticks, understand momentum, understand all of those things, taking these plays, your risk really only comes until you take your first profit target, right? We take your first profit target. The next thing you know, now you're in the money. You've taken money off the table. So, at worst, it's going to start coming down. You find a place that you're not willing to lose anymore and you cut. right? There are rules for that if you want to make up rules for it. I have rules for mine, but yeah, it's just beautiful. So these are the particular days that we really want, right? We want a lot of movement where then we can actually make, some of these larger plays if possible. And so I will never say something to you, along the lines of, if you're not green today, you're an idiot, because it takes a lot of trust in yourself, right? To know what you're doing, to be able to take this, hold it to a particular profit target, and start taking that profit off the table. It's tough. And until you trust yourself, you're not going to do it. So my advice is to go back and look, pay attention, study it, right? How could you have gotten into this earlier? Let's see. Let's see if there's a place to get into this today early. Let's jump down to a 1 minute. Or maybe in for a smaller play. You have something here. Roughly, give or take. I would say right in there. We tried. Yeah, we tried to hold and then we couldn't, right? So we couldn't break that. So, yeah, maybe this. I just don't think that that's going to equal out to be. Oh, no, it did. It actually hit the 113. So, yeah, I mean, that could have equaled out to be a shark. So there you go. There's your shark right there. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. Nice 113-esque shark. So this bad boy right here, give or take, but it just never really stopped, never pulled back. That's why these smaller patterns, you want to look for the bigger patterns. The smaller pattern really just helped this bigger pattern come into play. Anyway, I'm 22 minutes in. I don't want to continue to take up everybody's afternoon of time. But anyway, here we are. This is what it is. So, as I've said a million times, like and subscribe and do all the things. I just want to talk about the amazing days some people had in the room today. Fantastic. We have our boy Sean doing some options courses over the past couple days. Amazing. That dude is awesome. He's been just nailing these options calls. So anyway, I guess I'll talk to everybody later. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's family is well. And I'll see you. Peace.